it on the level. Keep it on the level. I'm climbing up the.
What's going on, Nasteey Nation? It's Nasteey, and if you can't tell by the title and the thumbnail and all that stuff, in this video we're going to be not only like reacting and taking a look at this this trailer for the new champion Senna, but I'm also going to be trying to break it down a little bit, give my opinion on what I think it's going to be like, stuff along those lines. So before we actually get into the video itself, I wanted to talk about my thoughts ahead of time, right? So I have seen this video, but even before I saw the video, I saw that there were some rumors and stuff like on Twitter about this champion potentially coming out due to like some mist and some little passives in the game and whatnot, right? Little discoveries like that. And before I even saw the trailer, and when I saw these rumors initially, I thought to myself that this champion is going to be a support, right? I know that they announced a long time ago, like earlier in the season, that the next champion that they were going to come out with is going to be a marksman, right? So immediately you think ADC. We also had a support champion not that long ago. It's been a while since we've had an ADC, I guess Kaisa, right? But yeah, so they announced that it was going to be an ADC. But my thought process is it doesn't make sense for Senna to come into this game and not be a support, right? I think that they saw a lot of success with the Rakan Xayah combo, as far as how many people are enjoying that combo, how many people actually play that combo, how well that combo works. And it was such a good cash grab for Riot Games, right? Like obviously, they can't just ignore the fact that Rakan and Xayah made them a ton of money, right? I think Lucian and Senna would make them a ton of money as well, right? So just as far as a business move goes, that makes a lot of sense. So that's why I thought immediately Senna's got to be a support, right? But then I didn't dig too much into the lore ahead of time, but from what people have told me, and I'll kind of just go over the whole lore real quickly for those people who aren't aware of the Senna lore. So Senna is Lucian's wife. She's been trapped in Thresh's lantern as a soul, right? For many years now. But the lore was that they were kind of like a dynamic duo. They were both marksmen. They both had a gun. And then when Senna was trapped or killed or whatever happened to her, like her soul went to Thresh's lantern, Lucian then picked up the other gun. And that's why Lucian now carries two guns. So putting all those things together, everybody's like, okay, she used a gun beforehand. She's got to be a marksman. It makes sense. They announced that it's a marksman, all that stuff. So that's all the stuff ahead of time. Again, I thought it was going to be a support because it makes sense that you could have Lucian and Senna in the same game, the same lane. It doesn't make sense for this whole storyline to come together and then you never have a game where Lucian and Senna are in the same game. So that's kind of all my input and everything I was thinking ahead of time. So now we're going to go ahead and jump into this, and I'll kind of, I'll let it play when it deserves to be played, and when I can think of something to break down, I'll go ahead and do that. So it starts off with the epic slow motion, Lucian into Thresh. There you get your first glimpse at Senna. One thing that I do want to, go off topic about for a second here is League of Legends does such a great job with their cinematics. Like, this is like movie quality. Another thing that I really like is they do a good job of showing the champion's actual abilities in like these little videos that they do. Like you actually get to see Lucian's double shot, his dashes. You get to see the fillet, the hook, and stuff like that, right? They just do a really good job about that. Also a big piece that I think I just missed right there, but I saw it the first time around. I'll go and pause it here. So to go back to the lore, right, where Senna has her own gun. And then Lucian started using both. A good reason that Senna won't actually have that gun in the future is because Lucian's gun actually, or one of the guns just broke right there. But maybe that has something to do with it, right? I think that was the gun, right? I believe so. I believe the first time I went around and I saw this, I think I saw a gun break. So that would explain why Senna won't have a gun when she comes back. So Lucian's able to bust open the lantern. All the souls go flying around. See, again, you see the one gun here. He doesn't have both. So what's Senna gonna use, right? What's Senna gonna use now that she can't get her gun back? Senna comes flying out. Oh, this is so sick. They did such a good job. Lucian is all distraught. He's like completely caught off guard. I love the fact that they added that because it'll play in just a few seconds. She doesn't have her gun that Lucian used to have, so what does she do? She pulls out this massive thing out of like the soul fog. Shoots right through Lucian. Why though? Because when Lucian's all distracted, he doesn't see this hook coming at him. deflects that, sends Thresh flying. So we know that Senna's gonna have this big gun when she comes out into the game, right? I think, as I was kind of mentioning just a second ago, they do a really good job of showing their actual abilities in these kind of videos. So you see Thresh's lantern, or not his lantern, or you do see his lantern, but not as like an ability. But you see his hook, you see his flay, you see Lucian's double shot, you see his dash, and this is the only glimpse of that we get to see of Senna in action. And she shoots this laser. It can go through an ally, and it deflects, and that is a big thing. It's not just like a shield. It's not something that she shoots out and it's a shield. It actually reflected Thresh's hook and sent it back at him. So that could be really, really interesting if that's actually how it works in game. Let's say like a Syndra ults your ADC, you send that out. It not only stops it like a Braum shield or something, but actually reflects it back at them. That would be really cool. One mechanic that I'm not sure about is you did see how it goes through the ally, right? So that could be a little tricky if you actually have to use it like on an ally and it has to go through an ally before you could shield. I don't know if they did that here just for dramatic effect or if that's actually a mechanic of the game. That would kind of suck because then it'd be a lot harder to like line up your ally with the skill shot that you're trying to deflect. It'd be a lot easier if this is just a shield. So yeah, let me go ahead and play out the rest of this. You don't really get to see her all too much in action anymore. They just kind of embrace. All the souls go flying, but Lucian's able to hold her, keep her in place. Thresh was flown away, so he's not a threat anymore. I also love that her eyes are still like this bright green, like her soul was kind of like tampered with after it was in Thresh's lantern for so long. Is there actually a little bit more after this? I'm not sure. Yeah, you just see that the lantern does come back intact and then it gets taken away. Okay, so that's gonna wrap up this, right? I don't think there's anything else in these 10 seconds. No, nothing else. Okay, so my final thoughts. They announced that it is in fact a support marksman. So as a support main myself, I would love to see Senna come out as a support. And of course, like I mentioned, it makes sense because then you could have that bot lane. But I'm not gonna try to like go out on a limb and say that she is a support. And I'm also not gonna like try to clickbait and say, no, this is for sure a support. But they are labeling it as a support marksman. I'm trying to think of another example right now. I can't think of one, but let's just say, like, let's look at Sejuani for an example. I'm not sure what her exact tags are, but there are champions in the game that have tags that don't necessarily match what they are in game. So Sejuani, for example, could be something like tank support, right? So obviously she's not a tank that you play in the support role. She's a tank that you play like in the jungle, and she has, you know, these supportive abilities that help out her teammates. So just because they're labeled as a support doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be a support. Right, so let's keep that in mind. I think that there is potential that she could be an actual support, but there's also potential that she's an ADC that has supportive tendencies, right? So it could be either way, right? We've only seen like one hint of this one ability. Not too sure how it's going to look in game or if that ability is even going to be in game, right? Only time will tell. Overall, though, I'm super, super hyped for this. I think that they did such a good job of releasing this. The example that I like to compare this to is like Marvel, right? Marvel had everything planned ahead of time. That's why they're such a, you know, what are the words I'm looking for? They're just such a fantastic like industry, right? Because they plan ahead. Lucian and Thresh, this storyline has been planned so long ago. It's, you know, I don't know the words for it, but it's just they did a fantastic job, you know, preparing for this. They didn't rush it. It's this storyline that we all know and love, and we finally get to see this champion in the game. I know that I kind of went on a ramble like towards the end there, but I hope you guys know what I meant by that. Anyways, that is going to wrap up this video. Let me know down in the comment section below if you guys are excited for the champion. What do you think Senna's going to be, support or ADC? If you know, let me know if you're as hyped as I am for this champion release. Also, be sure to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. That'll do it for me though, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
I could do this all day, I could do this all night, all month, all year, for my whole entire life. Who you know got a home, but seen to live on the road, looking like a black gypsy in a caravan.